Hi friends, welcome to English Study Point. Today in this video lecture, I am going to discuss another important question related to a short story written by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, and this short story is titled as A Very Old Man with Enormous Wings. So this is your previous year question, and this question says, how are the boundaries between magical and real blurred in The Very Old Men with Enormous Wings? Illustrate. So, in Gabriel Garcia Marquez's short story, The Very Old Men with Enormous Wings, so this indicates the author and the work being discussed, and the boundaries between the magical and the real are woven together, creating a rich representation of reality which is infused with fantastic elements. So, this particular in this title of the story, we see that the story mixes elements that are magical, like the old men with wings, with ordinary reality. And these magical and real elements are intertwined or mixed, and which in a way creates a complex narrative, and the story offers a detailed and nuanced view of life in the village. This reality is enhanced by fantastical elements, making everyday life feel ordinary. Then we see that there is mundane coastal village, and magic enters through the arrival of the old men. So here we get to see the setting starts as a simple ordinary village by the coast, and the old man who possesses magical qualities introduces extraordinary elements into this regular setting. In another point, we see old man is described as having enormous wings. His physical state, which is described as old, decrepit, contrasts with his surreal wings. So, in this description, we see that the old man's large wings are a key feature that make him unique, and also his description of his physical state describes the old man as frail and weak, emphasizing his age and lack of vitality, and this physical state contrasts with his surreal wings. So we see that there is a kind of juxtaposition of his weak body with his incredible wings, which creates an interesting kind of tension here in this short story. Villagers have initial curiosity towards him. This means that when this old man arrived in the village for the first time, villagers showed some kind of curiosity towards him, but then he became a symbol of exploitation. Example, the villagers treat him as a spectacle rather than an being of significance. So what we see here in this line is that this particular at first the villagers are intrigued by the old man and his wings, and over time their interest turns into a way to exploit him for entertainment. So they see him more as a curiosity to gawk at rather than a person. This shows that they fail to recognize his worth as an individual with feelings and dignity. So, another point, the old man is likened to a fallen angel. They raise questions about faith, means villagers raise questions about faith and humanity's treatment of divine beings. So, what we see here in this point is that this old man is compared to a fallen angel, suggesting themes of loss and neglect of higher ideals, and this comparison prompts readers to think about beliefs and spirituality, and also humanity's treatment of divine beings. Means that this particular line highlights how people often overlook or mistreat those who are extraordinary or different. The old man's miraculous survival despite his frailty, his ability to endure conditions that would normally break a human being. So we see that despite being weak and old, he manages to live, highlighting something special about him. And then there is another point which says that his ability to endure. This particular point shows that he can withstand harsh treatment and situations that most people could not. The wings evoke awe and fear. Example, the children are drawn to him, contrasting adult skepticism. So this point shows that kids are fascinated and curious about the old man and his wings, and also we see that adults are more doubtful and critical, showing a lack of wonder compared to the children. The old man is treated like a circus attraction. It reflects society's tendency to exploit the extraordinary for entertainment. Then, in this point, we see that this particular old man, he is regarded as an object of entertainment rather than a person with feelings, and the villagers' behavior shows how people often take advantage of unusual individuals for their amusement. Then, in another point, we see old man is initially perceived as an angel, later seen as a nuisance. The villager's attitude changes as his presence becomes mundane. So, we see that at first people view him as a divine or holy figure. Over time, this perception changes and he becomes an annoyance to the villagers. And as they grow accustomed to him, the old man loses his initial allure and is regarded as just another part of their lives. The old man's wings isolate him from the rest of the world. He is physically present yet emotionally detached. So his wings make him different, causing him to feel separated from others. And we see, although he is there, he feels distanced from the emotions and connections of those around him. There is blurred lines through the depiction of natural events. Example, the arrival of the storm correlates with the old man's presence. So the story mixes reality with magical elements, making it hard to tell what's normal. When the old man appears, a storm often follows, connecting nature with his existence. So over time, he becomes more humanized. The villagers' perception shifts from reverence to neglect. So we again see in this point that as the story progresses, the old man is understood and accepted more as a person. Initially admired, the old man is eventually overlooked and disregarded by the villagers. Inserting magical elements into everyday life seamlessly, and this means that the magical aspects of the old man's existence blend naturally into the villagers' daily life. Example, the old man's presence feels normal despite its absurdity. So we see that his extraordinary nature feels ordinary to the villagers after a while, despite being strange. Then we see the old man finally regains his strength. His ultimate departure emphasizes both the magical and the real. So at the end of the story, the old man becomes strong again. So when he leaves, it highlights the blend of magic and reality in his life and the villagers' world. So this work explores ethical implications of the villagers' behavior. So the story examines the moral consequences of how the villagers treat the old men. This example, their cruelty reflects deeper societal flaws. So the villagers' harshness reveals larger problems within society like ignorance and insensitivity. The old men's eventual flight symbolizes a return to freedom. So this particular point emphasizes that when he flies away, it represents his release from limitations and confinement. It also suggests that magic holds the key to understanding human conditions. So his magical nature implies that accepting the extraordinary is essential to grasping the complexities of human life. Then with this video lecture ends here. Hope this video lecture will help you in your exams. Thank you.